Welcome back to another episode of the Day After Podcast.
Hi everyone, it's me, Brian Neo Wayne, or I am. It's actually Halloween, or like the day before Halloween when we're recording this. So this is my costume. Yeah. I'm not just any person. I am Superman. I am Clark.
When he first got on, I did say that he looked. I thought he was going as Carson Garrett from Survivor 44. I thought that was what was happening.
This is Aaron made these. We're doing a couple's costume. I'm Clark. She is Lois.
Nice, nice. The new Superman was pretty good.
I know this is actually the shirt from it,
Yeah,
but
it
yeah.
was. I think it was. I typically hate Superman movies. I think that they are usually pretty boring, but I actually enjoyed this one. So I was like, "Oh wow, that's surprising to me."
I think the first two with Reeves were they have their charm. Man of Steel, I was like, all right, I can get behind it, but like I was never like a big fan of them, but like
Yeah,
Superman 2025 was just so great.
yeah.
Um and I'm a little partial because James Gunn, but like movie
Yeah.
was so fantastic.
Yeah, well, what's good about James Gunn is that he like brings in like less known heroes too, and like smaller characters that then become like stars.
Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific was awesome, so
Hmm.
love seeing that. But we're not here to talk about Superman 2025. We're here to talk about episode 6 of Survivor 49. Probably the best so far, I'd say.
Agreed.
There was at least stuff going on, like something of
Yeah.
interest. It wasn't look at this person who you're 100% going out, even though, yeah, we predicted Shannon goes out this episode. It is still par for the course of what we expected based off of where we're going. But at least Sage and Shannon had we got some old school like bitterness between those two where they just
Yeah.
did not like each other. And I love that.
Well, you love all that. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I will say, like, well, this was going on for a while. Like Shannon was always looked at as someone who was like kind of playing both sides. Um, she was accused of being like fake and stuff throughout.
Mhm.
It's tough to say when you're a very positive person,
Yeah.
and sometimes, people. I don't know. I don't know Shannon IRL.
Yeah.
I know like sometimes you play into more like different traits when you were in these games, but like she's I feel at the very least she always presented herself to be a positive person even during her elimination
Yeah. Yeah.
and her leaving.
I don't know if you know this, but she knows Boston Rob, and Boston Rob was giving her advice before going out there.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that there was definitely a lot of like find something to make you seem likable and go crazy with it, like really amp it up. When she tries to throw Sage under the bus in those previous, I bet you Rob said, "Hey, if you're ever in danger, only look out for yourself," and so that's why
Yeah.
Shannon does that. I think Shannon has game. Like I think she's definitely a game player, and that's what did her in was that she was with Sage, who's not really a game player and is more going to play a little more emotionally. Like
I
because
don't
this
I
I
don't think it was the worst move.
no, yeah, I don't think it's terrible. Like I think it was a decent move for her in that situation, but also, you know, there's potential ramifications for doing this. Whereas if you go with Steven, you know that everyone on your Uli tribe is going to be okay. You're basically sending the Hina tribe down to 3 people, which like they have no chance if you end up doing that. So there is realms where that is like it's good to have taken out Steven instead of Shannon here. But because she was also on the bottom with Jawan, that's obviously scary.
Yeah.
But yet again, how much did she know she was on the bottom? She was like, I don't know. So it wasn't a like guaranteed. Jawan thought he was fine. He thinks he's in the top four of that drive. So for him, yeah, I mean, he was almost about to pull a Mitch from Survivor 48 and just like sit on his hands, not do anything.
Yeah, I will say this one. Well, I mean, it's an interesting scenario because original tribe lines are always interesting. But if we look at this round, this is like, technically round six. And so, like, it's been a while for some of these people since they've been away from their original tribe and stuff. And I mean, like, going into this, there were, like the names kind of bounced around on this tribe. And I do feel like they were believable because,
Mhm.
like, Steve, because, the Hina, pagonging that's going on. But then there's also, like, Steven was talking to, Sage and Shannon for quite some time. So maybe Jawan is actually the odd person out. Oh, and then obviously the big thing that we've been hearing is, the Sage, Shannon, like the beef they had with each other. So
Yeah,
like, when going into this team, we had the different like avenues that it could pan out to be, which I liked about this one.
yeah.
Uh, Watching it, I was like, yeah, it could be one of those three. Sage was just kind of sitting pretty because she was just like, yeah, I'm kind of controlling this right now.
Yeah, no one wanted to go for Sage.
No,
Yeah. And to be fair, I actually think she it very much might make it deep into the season because no one's going
I
to gun for
agree.
her for a very long time. I think there's way more bigger targets that everyone is going to be looking at than Sage.
Well, I think also what's great about Sage doing this move, actually, well, there's something she did, and we'll talk about it, but like MZ revealed to Rizzo, like, yeah, Sage just said that you had the idol.
Yeah.
Uh,
Didn't say specifically Sage. Said we got a confessional where MC said Sage, but when she talked to Rizzo, said, "Hey, someone spilled about your idol." So it
all right,
was, yeah,
that's fair. Uh, It won't be too long before that source probably gets clarified,
yeah.
depending on who wants to work with who. But the thing is, it was like Sage has already kind of set the groundwork with Hina, not in the sense, like, and so like, if there's anyone here that might be like, oh, there's no Hina Uli war or OG Hina Uli war. Sage is the only one that doesn't seem like to adhere to it on the Uli side. Like Jawan,
Yeah.
a little bit. I think this kind of goes in the direction where, all right, Jawan can kind of be like, yeah, well, we took out one of our own because of this, this, this. We aren't playing like that, even
Mhm.
though his past couple tribals, but he didn't have anyone from his last tribe here. So, like, you can be like, he can play that. So I think it's like good for Sage in the sense of like, she can kind of play the middle and go deeper in that way, where she's not
Yeah.
going to be on the, which is ironic because that's exactly what Shannon was doing,
Yep.
but Sage just went about it in a more low key way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Also, I had a point about the MC idol thing. If someone asks you, "Hey, you think you know who has the idol on your tribe, and you have the idol?" Don't say, "I don't know. I don't think anyone has it." Like that was her. That was we showed that little response. I was like, "Okay, you say that, and that is really bad in every facet. Like say a name. Like you gotta have someone that you're just like that's the least person I care about on my original tribe. I'm going to just say." I don't know. This person went off a few times. I don't know if they got it or not, but like you got to have something like that
Yeah,
when you know about Rizzo's idol like that. You got to give him a little bit, even if it's not real. You got to give him something.
yeah, and I mean, dead men tell no tales. So like,
Yeah,
it's not always like it may not put a target on someone else, but at the same time, if you throw someone under the bus that's no longer in the game, you're a little clean. Does it, like some people may not believe it as much. I
yeah,
mean, like it's risky, but I mean, like, well, I wouldn't say it's risky. It's just like I think low risk, low reward, where the other one is like high risk, high reward.
mhm,
It's like, oh well, if they're gone, and you said, oh yeah, I think it was Matt. Matt was like really looking hard, so maybe he did.
mhm.
Like they might be like, well, they could be just deflecting or,
Uh,
yeah. So like you never know. When you're in those positions, it's always a tough call because you don't know if they actually want to work with you or if they're
yeah.
just fishing for information.
Yeah, this is also like I think the first time that it's really felt like two tribes are just at a war with each other, and they're a lot of them are almost making choices not based off of themselves or who they want to align with, but based off of those original tribe lines. That's
Unless you're Sage. Sage
yeah,
was, oh wait,
Sage.
yeah.
Yeah. Sage was the one really willing because, like, yet again, Jawan would have been willing to just take out Steven. Like he was
Yeah.
so gung ho for it. Um, even when Sage told him about like Shannon, like he was still like on the fence about it, and it was like Shannon wants to come for me, but I don't know. It might look weird if we go after Shannon now.
Well, I mean, I think it's always Jawan brought up some concerns. There's always the whole thing of like you said, it might be like the safer option to just take out Steven and then keep Uli strong. So that way, uh, well, I don't know how much they know about Sophie's screen time, but like Sophie's screen time seems pretty loyal to the Uli members, at the
Yeah,
very least, the ones she worked with. And, like Alex has been pretty much working closely with OG Hina, but I don't know how. That's what I'm like kind of wondering is like how when they get reunited episode, how is this going to pan out? Because they are in the swing position really.
yeah,
Whereas if they took out Steven, they didn't have to worry about that.
yeah.
But it was a move, it was a risky move, and we'll see if it really pays off later.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think that they got to just say, let's just forgive them because that's two people who could potentially go over to Hina now with Steven. And now suddenly Hina is actually in a good spot, especially if they do have Alex. Yet again, I know edit wise that Sophie's relationship to Savannah is way more important than Alex's relationship to any single person on Hina. And we also know from edit wise, everyone on Hina does not matter pretty much. They are very
Yeah.
inconsequential at most. Steven and MC are like side background characters who pop in here for a little thing and then pop out.
There was a little there was like a little thing between Sophie Bananas and Kristina where, it
Mhm.
was like Kristina is always like or like, like they were like yeah, like there seemed to be some drama there.
Mhm.
On the new I forget, were they the new Uli tribe? Yeah. Where it was like, it was like Nate, Alex, both the Moors, which fun little detail. Christina and Sophie Bananas. And then like Sophie Bananas and Christina seemed like there was a little bit of something there. They are the two people left in this game who has not been to tribal council, the only two, I believe. Yes, that is correct. So, you know, oh wait,
No,
MC
we,
hasn't.
yeah, MC Adams, yeah.
So there's three. Yeah. Sorry, I was like pretty sure it was just because most of her team was most of the team
Yeah,
was like new Hina, so like I was like, oh wait, so
yeah,
that was why.
yeah, yeah.
Uh but yeah, so there are two out of the three people who have not been to tribal. And I know sometimes that's when tensions can kind of rise a little bit, because it seems like, oh, they're kind of like not really vibing with each other as much. So
Mhm.
we'll see. Though this was interesting, the whole thing about Nate's situation. Like he
Mhm.
was like trying to be like he tried to like half tell the truth, half lie, but no
Yeah,
one was really if anything, it just kind of seemed a little wishy-washy.
yeah,
Uh which
yeah,
is like you could just be like, that's what my tribe wanted to do. I know that obviously you guys are in that position. I get it, but I'm
yeah,
hoping that that's
yeah,
not the case. We
yeah,
can win this next challenge, move forward in this game. That's a lot more believable. That's more, true to himself.
yeah,
Boom.
yeah. Yet again, I think if you are a Hino member, I think last week made a lot of sense to throw a challenge. I think this challenge for them with Nate, it would have made so much sense to throw that challenge to take out Nate. You know that they are not going to go another tribal together there, and you know that you got three people in that situation that were totally down to take out Nate because Uli had six members still. So
Yeah.
so yet again, probably would have been good for them to do that. It still worked out. I knew we still went. But Nate is definitely the more, I think, well connected in terms of the OG Uli. Like I think he's not gonna flip. I think he's just like Jawan.
No,
He wants
you
that
just say,
core.
hey, I'm just saying, you say what you can to get through one, like, because this one,
Yeah.
it's pretty obvious that next round would be the merge
Yeah.
because they don't really start jury at like 10 anymore or something. They haven't done that in like years.
Yeah.
I think even like decades. But
I thought they were throwing that challenge. Kristina, I've never seen someone be so bad at building the pole. Like that was, and then she kept trying with it. Clearly, it's like,
nothing it.
yeah. I was like, what are you doing? You're just wasting time.
I don't know. It's interesting how this kind of like, I will say, I think this is another thing that also made this episode better. Instead of earn the merge or something like that, we actually got like a twist that like something. Well, we've never had two tribe swaps in the new era before. And that was like, oh, okay, and
Yeah,
obviously we knew that going into this episode, but also it was just like, refreshing because it, makes the season different, stand out a little
yeah,
bit, where in a good way, where it's like, oh, okay, so we're not going to have earn the merge. I
yeah,
feel earn the merge is good here and there,
yeah.
but
I mean,
yeah,
the way it was done, what was it last time, where it just was an individual immunity challenge or whatever.
last two times.
Yeah, I mean that's just not right. That's like just get rid of it if that's what you're gonna do. Now, what I am concerned about is some of these positive things that we're seeing this season is only just because they're going to be also repeated again in season 50. Like I can just see that they kept the formatting the same, and they're like, here we're just going to have another uh, tribe swap right before the merge, just like this. But there'll be more people in that game. Probably, maybe. I don't know how they're going to do double eliminations. Maybe in Survivor 50. I mean,
They
you got
definitely
to.
do. They're definitely going to do doubles, especially if
Yeah,
it's only 26 days.
yeah. Pre-merge, you got to have just the first tribe be the only one that doesn't go. Like the other two tribes have to just go every time, which that could be a lot. Like, I am a component of just like sometimes you just can't get everything in there into an episode, and sometimes I am a little afraid if they do what I just said, if it's going to
I
be too
do,
much.
I do feel like it should have been 39 days, went back
Yeah,
to 39 days,
100%.
and then also it's back to 39 days and like, let them breathe for a little bit. It is already more people doing 26 days with 24 contestants. That's very, very, it makes it, they've proven they can do it with 18 people,
Yeah,
but doing it with 24, it's literally six more people,
yeah.
six more eliminations you have to go through. And like, I know we have like an hour 30 now for it, but like minus commercials and stuff, that's like an hour, and it's like the amount of screen time and purple
Yeah.
edits that would be
I think
would be
I think like half of the season is we're gonna forget about half the people on Survivor 50 probably. Just because that's just they're gonna get like 5, 6 confessionals overall in the entire season. Like there's gonna be a lot of like half the cast is gonna be very, very small in confessionals.
yeah. I am curious to see how I don't know. I always thought it would have been best to make season 50 a two-parter
Mm-hmm.
because that's like a big trend, even with like network
Yeah.
TV to do part one, part two.
Yeah.
Part one, you just do the pre-merge. Part two, you do the merge portion.
Yeah. Well, the issue is that they wanted to bring a bunch of people from New Era, but they also wanted to bring a bunch of people from old school, like before New Era. And so you had two casts basically that they have like Frankenstein monstered into one. And because they were doing that, they couldn't land on a solid 20 or 18 of those people. So they were like, oh, I guess we just got to do 24 and not really think
I don't
about
think that's a
why.
I don't think that's a bad thing though on paper. You have to accommodate that though.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. They didn't think about it beyond what that was of just like, let's just mush them together. We really needed Survivor 48 to be new era All Stars, and mirror the first All Stars almost of just being like, this is the new era. Look at all these new people, and these are the best of the best of the new era. And then Survivor 50 being like, okay, now let's bring the best people from that season and a bunch of people from the older seasons into one season. Because then you trickle people down. You don't have all these like weird, like, why is this person from the new era here? Why is this, like, you can actually be a little more selective and get your cast down to a proper number.
Well, I mean, I know part of the reason why there isn't anyone from like Winners at War or something on there because like
Yeah,
Jeff said this on the podcast. We also
that's
have some
fine. Yeah,
fun stuff to talk about that.
yeah.
Because shots have been fired against Parvati. But you know, it's like uh they didn't want anyone from Winners at War, or that was another way to like kind of trickle it down. It was like, all right, that was our last like big epic season. Uh we want to kind of like spread the love, and like something like that is another way we can like, like it's a like thing where you're like, yeah, this makes sense, and it can make some of those tough decisions like easier to like cut. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense because like
Yeah.
from what I understand, Jeff was like, I would have had you on, Jeremy, but like we were like as we were narrowing down, we were like, probably no one from season 40,
Yeah.
just because that's what our last epic season.
Yeah, I just think that we should have had no winners. I think that having any winners on the season is just not good. I really don't. I think if you're gonna bring winners, you gotta have a
I
few.
disagree.
I don't think Kyle does. I really don't think I want to see Kyle again. I do not want to see Kyle
No,
again.
you just don't like. All right, but like I disagree. I feel like for season 50 and stuff, I know like I,
But
I feel
to
like
represent your winners, are we really going to say D and Kyle are the representation of winners throughout Survivor? No.
new well it's well they wanted some new era love. Listen, I was in the casting room. There were some people I might have chosen over
Yeah.
them in general. Are they my favorite winners? I do have a soft spot for Kyle, yes, not because I chose him to win, but also I'm like, he's a pretty cool dude, and I played a Kyle-esque game in an org before and I ended up winning. So it's like I see the math. I see why he's a
Yeah,
great player.
yeah, but I don't care if you're a great player. If you're not good TV, then don't be on the screen.
He was good
It
TV.
was not. I could sleep through his confessionals. Like, they were so boring, and it was just
You just
Kyle and
you're
Camilla
a
are the
hater.
secret
You're a
alliance.
hater.
Imagine winning a season of Survivor and 80% of your confessionals are me and Camilla are in a secret alliance. Like, it's so wild.
Nobody knows about get your facts straight.
Oh my god, it's so bad. It's one of the worst edits in Survivor.
But all right, let's vote. Let's vote. So I don't mind them bringing these things back. Like these like different things. It's because of season 50. Because that's also in their head is like that's them kind of like subtly admitting slash taking a piece of humble pie that these things make for better TV than what they have been doing.
Mhm.
Because like why else would they do that? It's not just to harken back to a different time. It's also like, fans actually do enjoy this. So let's do this instead. Like Earn the Merge is good here and there. I think it can be fun. It can be great TV. It's just like doing it all the time and then watering down where it just becomes individual immunity and just the merge just without buffs. Just
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Yeah. I would love it if in season 50 we get to the earn the merge portion and just like, okay, everyone, we're bringing back the hourglass. and just have everyone freak out and be like, and then he just smashes. It's like, screw that, let's move on.
No, they then Zelensky makes a
Yeah,
cameo. He comes, grabs it.
yeah. Yeah. Also, I think the reason why season 50's cast looks not great is that we know so many people who were in the casting process. There's like 50 to 70 Survivor players who have come out that they were in the casting process, that it was revealed that they were in the casting process. And a lot of them are people that a lot of people would have loved to see, and they're not on the cast. And there's some people on the cast that people are we're not clamoring for necessarily, but they're on the cast anyways. So I think that there's also getting a lot of like most all-star seasons, like a few people who didn't make it. And a lot of times you kind of go like, okay, that makes sense. This one, I think there's a lot more. I think you could really go down like 20 people who I would have loved to see on the cast that didn't make it.
I think the tough thing is, and we knew this as soon as they announced it. Um,
Yeah, way too early. That
well,
was the problem.
one, it was way too early. I knew from the get-go that whatever cast they did create, there was always going to be some great players that we haven't seen before that would be left on the cutting room floor. And I mean, with a lot of all-star seasons, like even look at Winners at War, where they had 38 different people they could have chosen from. There was a vast chunk of that was still from like the later seasons. It was like
Yeah,
literally, I think everyone 31 and onwards who was a winner, except for Underwood. There was like huge, like 31 through 37. All of the winners from that were from that, big slice. There is
yeah,
usually some sort of like recency bias
yeah.
when it
But
comes
I
to these
I
things.
think that was okay for recency bias, specifically for winners at war, because it's some of those older winners from previous. Like, yeah, you're not going to bring back Rob Crowley in season 40. He's just not. He just can't. Tom Westman had health issues. Earl Cole also same thing. Like, I understand why these, even though it would have been cool to see them. Like, I get why they're not out there. I get even Todd Herzog, who he's come a long way, but he had a lot of issues like right after he won, and I could see why Survivor is not going to want to instant like let him get back into that kind of situation. So I can definitely I can rationally take away so many of these and be like, this is why these people aren't on the season.
But that's
But yeah,
it's like I said, it was always not going to meet expectations. We did get some favorites. I think also with like New Era, it made sense that we're going to probably have a lot of more people from that portion. We also got a lot of people from I would say like 35 through 38 just because like they also weren't eligible for
mhm,
a returnee season as well. So
yeah,
like they were trying to show some love to people there as
yeah,
well. So we knew it's going to kind of be like a little bit skewed more in that direction. And then
yeah,
it's like, all right, we have to bring some of the best people from the pat. It's like I know when we do our brand steel about like who we would have brought, something like that, it probably looks very different. But I think the thing is like this cast was always going to disappoint the masses.
yeah,
It's like it's something where I feel like the hype outgrew what was probably going to happen,
yeah.
and like I think that's why there was such a reaction to it.
Yeah, and you know what? I want to also bring up another interesting point. I think the theme sucks. I think give a hand in the hands of the fans, and it's not just about the voting. It's because it's so fucking. There's no theme to who they cast. So they had their net was way too fucking large to actually get any to actually filter in and get a very specific cast. Like a heroes versus villains is very specific to those kind of players, and you're like, okay, you only have these spots, you got to bring the best people of those, and that's it. um a second chances, very specific casting. A lot of people immediately get cut out from it and can't be brought up because of it. Winners at war, very specific casting. When you have Game Changer, I think, was terrible casting because it was just a blanket open, let's just do whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that we're just seeing it again, where this is very much like the Game Changers because they just had no clue of what they wanted to actually cast. They just kind of had to just pick people who were what the CBS wanted, a few who Jeff wanted, a few who they think would be fans, and they had to do like very small selections of each group.
I feel like, all right, that's another thing is like like because obviously one of the biggest complaints is we have no one that originated in the 20s,
Mhm.
which was like a huge controversial decision they made. But if you look at it this way, look at the individuals they brought, and there might be some like Ozzy and Sari, where yes, we've seen them play a bunch of times before, but it makes sense why they're there. Uh, there's like some people, I would say in the later ones, you have to like justify why you're bringing them for a big season. I get it. But I'm like, if I'm looking at their play style and stuff or what they could bring to the cast, it makes sense. So it's like, if I'm looking just at the individuals that they brought, not in like, not trying to like encapsulate, oh, are they from, the checkbox of every single incarnation of Survivor? I'm like, I think it's a solid cast. I'm not saying that they should have gone two or three people from like the 20s. I'm not saying that, yes, it is very, like, I know why they have so many new era people. I'm not saying that that was the right choice or the wrong choice. I understand why. And if I look at the individuals they did brought, I understand why they earned their spot. There is no like like there's just no like purple headed person in there. Like this
Yeah.
is like, okay, these people brought something to their season.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue Tiffany, for her season wasn't necessarily like she would make New Era All Stars, but and even then, I think she's on like the 14 to 16, like she's on the back end of it. So I do think that I think if someone said I don't think Tiffany should have been on this cast over I don't know I don't like Amanda Kimmel or something. Like, yeah, Amanda Kimmel.
I think that is fair, but I think also sometimes Survivor is like this person had potential. I think it's like because of the
Yeah,
Amber situation. It was like
yeah,
this person may have not been, like, well, I don't know. I feel like Tiffany's gameplay was pretty decent her season. I think what really sets her above the rest is one, personality, and then two,
yeah,
I think part of it is also her relationship with Q and their
yeah,
dynamic. I feel like seeing
yeah.
them on screen again
I,
will
I,
be
I
fun.
and another thing that I think that people don't like is that there's three people from that season. I think when you have three people from a single season and you're missing so many iconic seasons, like you got no one from Cagayan. Like, are you telling me that you're really going to do a season representing, a survivor and not have someone from Cagayan on it? Like,
That was one of the biggest like I know like they've pulled so many people from that, but there's a reason because
yeah,
it's one of those
I think
most like solid
you
casts
could have brought
in
Wu.
the history of the show.
I'm not a huge Wu fan, but I think I would have been happy if Wu was on this cast.
I like Woo. So
Yeah,
like I would have thought that would have been cool.
yeah,
There's quite a few. We could go
yeah.
that we've got to focus on 40.
I know. See, and this is the problem with this All Star season.
To be fair, no. Well, yes, there's that.
Yes,
But also it's like we can stay on task. We know we got
yeah,
this.
yeah.
But
But we just want to talk about the next season because this season,
no, I could talk
yeah.
about this season and not go. I can talk about this season. Like I said, I feel like this
I'm pretty
was
sure
the
we've had.
best.
I think we've had 6 episodes so far, and at least 4 of them we have gone on to rants about season 50.
Yes, but
Yeah,
this was actually a really good episode. So like
yeah,
we can bring it back here.
yeah,
Uh, so what I really enjoyed was he even toyed with the idea earlier this season. I don't think we touched on it too much when we covered the episode 4, but the whole thing about the survivor fake outs, where, and we've
Mhm,
seen it happen a few times where they look like they have a challenge set up and then they don't do it.
mhm.
And then, like, one brave soul finally asked, then what's all this stuff for? And I was like, it's just a fake you out to keep you on your toes. And also, it just looks more visually better
Yeah,
than them just being on a beach.
yeah,
But anyway, so there was that, and so there was potential of like, oh, is this another fake out of their merge? Is this a different earn the merge where it's only 4 people get immune, and then the other 8 have to like figure it out? Like, and then we got it was like a fresh of breath air of like, all right, this is something we haven't seen before, and then also we get to see the different dynamics, even if they were kind of leaning towards the way we thought they would. It was
mhm,
like still cool to see. I will say he knew Hina probably would have been the most interesting to see go for a couple reasons. One, the more, like, one,
yeah,
it's like, all right, if MC finds the idol, which I don't know if that works because she's on the Hina beach and Rizzo has it,
yeah,
if that happens. Two, Sophie, yeah, found the idol or the knowledge
knowledge.
is power. And this time it might actually work because no one else knows that that's in the game. And as
Exactly.
far as we know, she's not going to tell. She may tell Alex. We'll see how their relationship is when they see each
Yeah.
other again. But like,
But to be fair, she was trying to hide the idol from Alex. Like she was trying to keep it away from
yeah,
him. So I actually think that she's not telling anyone.
yeah. The only reason I say that is sometimes you trauma bond.
Yeah.
And like, it's one of those things where it's like, all right, she at least knows where one of the idols is, and no one in the game really expects knowledge is power. Because like early season 40s or early new era, they were really trying to get this power to work and it just wasn't happening. Yeah, I think that was not necessarily. Yeah, I think that was more of fault of like gameplay because
Yeah.
I've played an org where that does work out.
Mhm.
Um, this time around, I think it was like, all right, if nobody knows about it, if nobody knows about your knowledge is power, and you have that knowledge and power,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
people are aware that something like that's in the game, they're gonna flop it around with people that they do. They're
Yeah.
gonna, yeah,
Yeah, I remember when it first got introduced, how like we were like, wow, this is one of the most broken, overpowered powers out there. And then yeah, everyone just constantly fumbles it because everyone wants I think there's a lot of people in especially New Era who they want to tell their closest allies about everything they have. So that way they try to build a bond with them. And and knowledge power is one of those ones you just kind of can't tell people about. Like it just is going to it basically just nullifies that advantage. Like you may as well be rolling a dice to figure out if you're correct on who has the whoever has the idols or advantages because you just they're going to go around so much. We already know this. Um, I mean, we see people like Rizzo, who he's totally fine with everyone knowing that he has an idol. He's totally like, yeah,
say
that's
he's fine. He was just like,
he's a god
yeah,
in this game.
yep, waddling around in his flippers, face planting into the ocean, like very total drama ass. It was just like, uh,
Yeah,
it is interesting how he was like, oh, I'm gonna feel like Ozzy. Now he's gonna be playing a game with Ozzy, a little bit later.
yep,
But yeah, I will say it is interesting that they did get a pure reward challenge. They had like food. Sophie screen time finally got food in this game.
yep.
She actually won a challenge.
I know, right? Good on her. Good
Like I
on
feel
her.
like there should have been a bigger moment for that because it was like
Yeah,
that she was about to be Denise. Like I
yeah,
think that was her biggest fear. It was like, oh, I'm gonna be at every single tribal.
yeah,
Fuck, at that point I would too.
yeah. I mean, at that point, there's almost a level of just like if you survive another tribal council and get to the merge, make it to the end. I mean, you like win the game.
It's
uh,
like No, it's like, I hope I play a winning game. Your winning game is Denise Stapley. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
No one
no,
wants that.
it's too
Yeah.
risky.
Yeah, I feel like Sophie, since not being on the Blue Tribe, has definitely become a little less important. Like we know of her relationship with Savannah, but yeah, it feels like yeah, I think tonight or this last episode should have been a lot bigger of like a moment for her because even though she got like the knowledge is power, she won challenges. It felt like it was a little muted in terms of like should you be excited for Sophie in this moment?
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because if there's going to be someone who is a surprise winner that's not Savannah, I was hoping for it to be Sophie. Could still be out. I still think Alex had a decent, like, likable, like I could see a potential path for Alex.
I can I would say his edit has dipped a little bit,
Yeah.
but maybe they could be doing that and kind of like throw us off the set.
Mhm.
Uh I don't know. Some other favorites, I'm really enjoying Sage. Sage is a lot of
Mhm.
fun. She's like Carolyn 2.0.
Is she
Uh
winning though? That's the question because I don't think she's winning.
maybe not, but no. Yeah, I think
I mean,
he could
this is the Savannah show. Rizzo, I know is not winning because he got the Dodo music in this episode too. Like they were making fun of him. Like he was
to
also
be
like
fair, all right.
yeah
He was playing up. He was
yeah
playing
he,
into
he
it.
was he was, but it definitely did not feel winner vibes from it. I mean, his entire edit has actually been like not great winner vibes. Like even if he's getting screen time, it's not winner quality. It's like, look at this guy, he's ridiculous. He's saying Rizgod, Rizz God baby over and over again. Every
You said the
confessional.
whole thing.
Yeah, yeah,
He said it in a snorkel this time too.
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not really seeing a winner vibe. Yet again, I think he can make it to the end or final six. He's just not winning. Savannah's the only one who's like they're just trying to tell us like when this person's the winner. So
Uh, I think maybe Nate. He's fumbled a few times. I'm
I
like
think
trying
this
to think of
was
like any kind of
I
stretches.
think this was the episode that let us know Nate's not winning the game. With how everything went out with him trying to do the lie and then immediately cutting to them being like, I don't believe it. And like, I don't think we would have seen the cut to them not believing it if he wins.
That's fair. It's fair. But yeah, listen, I'm trying to make apples out of lemonade here.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, that sentence is correct.
Yeah, it's okay. We're just gonna lose the rest of your people except for Savannah, and then you're gonna win.
Who do I have left?
You got Savannah, MC, Jawan, Sophie S, and Sage.
I
You're
like
now
Sage.
yeah. You like
Uh,
Sage is a great character. But if
I
we're
like MC. I feel like I do still need to see more from her.
yeah, I mean MC had one episode in the premiere. I'm one confessional in the premiere. I just don't see
Well,
her
I
winning.
think she's been slowly planting seeds for Uli, whether it's circumstance like with last
Yeah,
episode with Nate, even though she was like tired to talk, it was like, all right, there's some familiarity, trying
yeah,
to get in good with Rizzo as well, being like, yes, people know about it, try and forge that bond.
yeah. I'm not saying like if you're out there on the island, yeah, she's got a chance. But from an edit perspective, no, she's not
Edit no.
winning.
Jawan has not been the edit
No,
hasn't been too kind to him.
no.
Um and then Sophie
Sophie S.
Bananas.
Yeah. Imagine Sophie S takes this home.
Yeah, it's looking a little
You have
no.
one option. You have Savannah like that, and we talked about this in episode 3 that you had one option. Like you lost everyone potentially in like episode 3.
Oh yeah. Well, Jake was getting a lot of good screen
Yeah,
time,
he
but
he
then,
he was your secondary option, and then he got medevacs.
well, too bad. If it was reversed, then I would have chosen Rizz Lord and then Rizz God, my bad.
Yeah, and
And
you
then
know the content we could have had if you had Rizz God, man. Like you really
I
let us down.
doing good stuff with Rizz God. I
Yeah,
legit dressed up like him in the very first episode we
yeah,
reviewed
yeah. But
of this
you
season.
could be going even harder. You could be pushing back and saying screw you, and you thinking that the edit is all superior. It's all about it's all about Rizgod
Well, you
Rizz
know
God baby.
Okay, maybe my draft pick this season wasn't great. My last couple, this kind of like humbles me a little bit. But you know what?
Mhm.
I make mistakes all the time. But you know what? That's what makes me human.
Yeah.
And that's my greatest strength. And that's yours too.
Oh yeah. I'm
Yes.
human. Okay, I didn't know that, but okay. uh,
No, no.
yeah, no, I'm just the JOEKING Chaos Gremlin baby. Let's
That's
go.
not how you spell chaos Berlin. Or Delulu Boo Boo.
uh, no, genuinely, don't say that. Don't ever say that. Not even
It's
a
been
joke.
catching on.
This isn't even a joke. Don't say it.
But it's been catching on.
No, it hasn't. No one is catching on.
Aaron likes it.
Good for her. You can call yourself the Delulu Labubu.
I I was gonna say I'm not Delulu, but sometimes I be. Sometimes I be.
You're very Delulu.
Yeah.
Okay. What else is there for us to talk about this episode? Um,
Um, we hit a lot of the notes. I think oh yeah, I did like this is like the first time
oh
we've really
yeah,
seen them throw the Tron disc. I
yeah,
thought that was fun.
yeah, yeah. We also got to talk about Kristina because she had basically like a panic attack or something. You know, a lot of things kind of went at her that she was not expecting. How do you feel about this?
I mean, thankfully she's okay. I know they have cut stuff like that before,
Yeah,
like last season. Uh Forgetting who dislocated their shoulder, or like there was supposed to be a medical thing and they just completely didn't show it.
yeah.
So
I just think it's so funny that back in 47, Andy also had something like this and like started freaking out. And Jeff's just like, hey, you're still in the game. Get back in there. Like there was way less like a real concern. I don't even know if they brought the doctor. I think they just were just like, go back.
I, I feel that it's the fact that he was like throwing his closest person under the bus and everything after
It
that.
was before that. It was during the challenge. He like basically just like went into the corner and just like went down. Like and still Jeff was just like, come on, get back in there.
Yeah. I don't know, like it did, yeah, maybe because it was happening during his like, it was happening during his like monologue and like talking about it while he
Yeah,
was hosting. So it's like
yeah,
maybe because it was like harder to like edit around that. And then
yeah.
also I was like, as a host too, like it's like you also want to be like you want to make sure like they're good before you continue and like, it's
Yeah.
best to nip it in the bud and like make
I
sure she's okay there.
I bet you some people behind the scenes did not like how Jeff handled the Andy situation and they let him know afterwards. And now it's like protocol that if someone is having this kind of situation, you like stop everything and bring in medic. Because he was very quick to like see something's wrong here. Let me bring the doctor in. Whereas with Andy, he saw something going on and he like just went over there and it's like, hey, yeah, we got a challenge happening here. Like, come on.
Yeah, that could be it. Thankfully she was okay. It did kind of like took away some of his momentum. So like I feel like that's why another reason he had to be like, hey, this, all right, you're good. All right, tribe swap.
Yeah,
I do like how he was kind of like toying with the idea as well, being like, oh, okay. So like
yeah.
he was really milking the scene
Yeah,
as well.
and I think this is another reason why the yellow tribe they just do not like bless you. We had Sophie Bananas complaining about getting fruits, and then you got Kristina here having a moment during what should be like a big dramatic moment for Jeff Probst, and then that gets taken away by something else. I think that there's definitely he's not a fan of that tribe. Like I would not be surprised if that is like one of his least favorite Survivor tribes we've seen.
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah. I mean, and if you don't believe me, look at the edit. Just look at the confessionals.
It's not great. It's not
even
great for
even the
them.
best people are way below basically everyone else.
Yeah. And we're almost at we're almost at the merge. Next episode we'll hit the merge, but yeah, we're
um,
6 episodes deep into this, and unless like the plot absolutely needs them, it's hard. Like it feels like sometimes when it comes to the Hina members, we don't hear anything from them. Like they'll
yeah,
sprinkle in content here and there, but it's
yeah.
like
But
mostly I'm like,
sometimes the content's just like not even content. It's just like it's the we're vibing or
jokes.
look at us, we won the challenge. That's so
Me
cool.
personally,
Yeah, it's like that's not giving us anything. um, we found out that Sophie S doesn't like who was it?
Christina.
Kristina. Yeah, she doesn't like Kristina.
Yeah, you've seen some of that. I mean, there was no payoff this episode for it. It might be relevant further down the line, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. I don't know. Anything else we want to really get into, or we just want to go to confessionals?
Um, you know, I think we cover a lot of ground because like,
Yeah.
the three tribes of tribe swap, and then I think we hit all the bullet points of like what was important. But yeah,
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so Shannon goes out with 20 confessionals here. 20,
I feel
20.
like she had less.
Yeah, she got five this episode and six in the previous. So the last two episodes is over half of her confessionals.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then so in first place, still we got Savannah at 38 confessionals. Second,
Had the bond bar.
yep. Second, we got Alex at 36 confessionals, also past the bonded bar. And then in third, we got Sophie with 33 confessionals.
All right.
Fourth, we got Rizzo at
Wait, 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 wait,
20.
wait. Which Sophie?
Which Sophie do you think I'm talking about?
Sophie Turner.
No, it's Sophie screen time.
Yes.
Okay. Fourth, we got Rizz God at 28 confessionals.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Jawan at 21 confessionals. Then we
All
got
right.
Sage, who also has the same amount of confessionals as Shannon at 20.
It's funny.
Yeah. Next up, we got Nate at 19 confessionals.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You have not said our original Hina member's name yet,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. We're about to get there though.
All right.
It has gone through though everyone else but the Hina people. We are now only on Hina people. So
Yeah. I just wanted to emphasize that to
yeah,
the
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hate when Survivor. I like you got to give one person in a tribe screen time. You got to give one person a chance that something can happen with them.
This is really sad. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel bad for those contestants, especially like
Yeah,
because like three of them just made the well, four of
Yeah.
them made the merge too.
I
Like that's
think
literally
I
a
think
third of the cast.
I bet you if you're Steven or MC after the season, you think that you're going to be somewhat like a decent edit of this. I really think that they both are in that position. Um, but yeah, right after Nate, we got Steven at 17 confessionals. Right behind him, we got MC with 16 confessionals. And then we got all the way down at 8 confessionals with Kristina. And then 7 confessionals with Sophie S.
That makes sense. Wow. The fact that there is that much of a dip too,
Yeah,
that's insane.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty wild. And like obviously we know why Alex and Sophie screen time are getting screen time because they were all getting just destroyed in this pre-merge, and then we know why Rizzo and Savannah are getting screen time because they're on season 50. Obviously, they're going to promote those two players, but still, you gotta give Stephen or MC more confessionals than Nate and Jawan and Sage. Like one of them
I
needed to
like
get
those
more.
people though. That's the sad
I I like them too, but when you are structuring a show all about who like a who done it, who's gonna win, like the tribes like decide like you can knock people off just based off of what tribe they are. Even if you think they're a good player, you can just figure it out by screen time. But because Yellow Tribe has just been so terrible and just showing off, and just being able to be shown off to the audience, they just can't win. It's just they all lose. Like
no, yeah. It's unfortunate, but yeah, it's just not there.
yeah. Okay, MVPs, LVPs. I'll give MVP to Sage.
Yeah, I would say to Sage to be a little different. I will say Sophie's screen time because one, she finally won not one, but two different challenges, and then
Mhm.
she has knowledge of power and actually knows where one of the idols is for a fact. And, nobody else in the game has any reason to suspect that there is a knowledge is power, unless next episode before the merge, we see people digging around just because to see what they can find, and then they find one themselves.
Yeah. I think Steven is also someone I wish that they showed his perspective more, but he still had to do something to not be the target. Like he played his
Yes.
role. And I wish we saw like I mean I'm saying he got 5 confessionals, but I would have said like 2 or 3. Like it felt like we saw a little bit of him, but the perspective just was not from his perspective. So we just
Right.
don't. We're just gonna give it to Sage. Um,
Yeah.
LVP. Um, I mean, I think it's weird because obviously Shannon goes here, but I think in like a lot of the ways she was doing the right things, but she was just in the wrong circumstances.
I think
So
she I think to kind of like expand upon that, on paper, she does a lot of the right things. I just feel like this was also something where this was kind of set up early, and I think it was little things along the way that got her here,
mm,
like trying to strategize and form a alliance when someone is just waking up,
yeah.
who barely got any sleep. Things like that. So I think it was like little things that got her there. Not
Hmm.
necessarily like she just totally fumbled this episode time and time again.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? I'm gonna give the LVP to the man who failed to catch a fish and flopped into the ocean because I'll just be honest, I don't really want to give it to Shannon, and I don't think anyone else really did anything like terrible, so I'm just gonna give it to Rizz God.
I'm gonna give it to the editors for under editing
Yeah.
the Hina tribe.
That is also fair. That's a Joe move that you just made because I always I tend to give LVP to the editors.
Well, I mean, like there was nothing. I mean, like the only other person that I think is like maybe Nate, but at the same time,
Yeah.
uh, it
That,
wasn't
that's what
like
that's what I'm saying. There's no one who's like actively terrible in like a way that I'm like, wow, what a bad player you were.
yeah. Uh yeah, and I mean some weeks we have that. Some weeks we have, like where there's no one that really stands out, as a good player either. It's just like it'd be like that sometimes.
Sometimes we get Zelensky, sometimes we don't.
Nope. We only get one Jelensky.
Yeah,
The man, the myth, the legend.
yeah.
Just imagine if Jelensky and Rizzo met.
That would be great. I want to see those two dominate a season.
All right. Forget Ozzy. We're getting
Yeah,
Zelensky
Zelensky.
on Survivor 50.
That would be so much better. Okay, well, that does it here for this episode. So we will see you all in the next one, and hopefully it will be an even better one because things should be happening. Hopefully,
All right. Peace out. Happy Halloween.
adios.